Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Aggression Fighting Championship promoter Darren Owen. Darren, how are you?
I'm good. I'm busy, but I'm good. So
yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah. Thanks for stepping up on short notice to do this interview. So I really appreciate it. Darren, let's just start back at the beginning. Aggression Fighting Championships is a combination of 3 MMA shows coming together. You were the promoter of Armageddon Fighting Championships, correct? Before this merger?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yep.
And 3 organizations have come together. Just curious, why did this merger happen?
It's pretty hard to grow and kind of do the things we wanted to do with, basically 2 guys behind one promotion.
Mm-hmm.
US TV, that's, where you can actually make some decent money. They're not interested with, 3 or 4 shows per year. So, as a combined unit, we can produce 10 to 12 events per year, stay relevant, create some depth in our organization, have our titles mean something, and expand across Canada like we've been doing.
Mm-hmm. On the internet, one of the critiques, or whatever you want to call it, the knock on this merger, fans, reporters, some people have said that maybe it wasn't going to work because so many people butting heads, so many people wanting control. How has it been? Has everyone been agreeable, or have there been rough patches?
It's been awesome. It really has been. And we didn't just go into this, we'll just call this organization, we'll see what they're doing, see if they want to do this. I've been, my Armageddon and Aggression have been working together for quite some time. If they ever need any help finding some fighters out this way, or short notice this, or anything like that. And we got along really well. We shared fighters between the 2 organizations to help fighters stay busy and, collect some paychecks. So we already had an established relationship. And then, the Calgary promoter had only done 2 events, but we knew we needed a 3rd one. And, we were trying to keep big cities, so we heard a lot of good things about Steve Fader there and his partner Phil Walsh. Had him deal with them, went phenomenal. That guy's a workhorse, man. He works his bag off. So, Steve now, he's one of my best friends. I've only known the guy for probably 6-7 months. So, yeah, it's been great.
Mm-hmm. How many people are on staff with this organization?
We've got about 7 kind of guys who are in the ownership side of it, who are all working at this. And then each of us have, we have quite a few volunteers. Like, guys have stepped up. People have been awesome. Like, we've got a website guy who, takes care of all that stuff. And, there's a lot of kind of smaller pieces to the puzzle that are helping us out.
Mm-hmm. How did this merger all come together? Was it a year, a couple months of work to get it together, or was it just something that, you guys just started to talk about it and a couple weeks later it happened? What was the timetable for making the merger?
Yeah, it did happen pretty quick. I'd say probably a couple weeks, a few weeks, and then we had our show out here in Victoria in April, and both groups came out to it, and we kind of all sat down and kind of just talked about the grand scheme of things, and everything started to to look really well. So we kind of decided to go forward it from then, and then I went up to Edmonton for that show and stayed for a week in Calgary for the next show there, and it's been great. It went together pretty quick, but now everything's running pretty smooth. We're kind of seeing each other's strengths and weaknesses, and who's good at this, who's good at that, who's got connections here with where and all that. So strength and numbers, man, it's been good.
Mm-hmm. Why did you guys settle on Aggression as the name of this organization? Why not Armageddon? Why not AX Combat? Or why didn't you decide to go with a new name? Why did you decide to stick with Aggression?
It was kind of a hybrid, because it used to be Aggression MMA, and then I was Armageddon Fighting Championship AFC. Mm-hmm. We'd done a pretty good job of promoting AFC. We hadn't done a great job about getting Armageddon out there, where Aggression had done a really good job about getting the name Aggression out there. Mm-hmm. And we've done way too many more shows compared to AX, so we just kind of didn't say anything. We wanted to keep the acronym AFC, and Aggression made sense. It's a good name. It's a little more, I think, commercial friendly than Armageddon was, so we just went with that. And, Axe guys had no problems with it at all.
Mm-hmm. How many fighters do you guys have on your roster?
Oh, man, a lot. Well, within this month, we're probably probably going to have at least, I don't know, probably close to 20, at least 60 guys fighting this month.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, we've got quite a few other guys in the organization as well. We just, last year in Winnipeg, we probably used, another different, 28 guys, I think, on that one. So, yeah, we've got a big roster without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. When you guys merged together, how many fighters were you able to keep from all three promotions? Or were there a lot of guys that, due to numbers, you had to let a lot of guys go?
We pretty well retained everyone, or, guys that we wanted to retain.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fight deals are, at the more smaller level or kind of just one-offs. We don't hold guys back from other opportunities, making money somewhere else. So, we've also kind of, gained a lot more guys. John Alessio, Kendall Grove kind of came in with this new deal because we can keep them busy, and that's an important thing. A lot of guys don't want to fight 2 or 3 times a year. They'd love to stay active, fight 4 or 5 times, 6 times a year. So, with this new, with a new promotion and the amount of events we're putting out, guys can stay a lot more active.
Mm-hmm. I saw an article recently, I believe it was on sportsnet.ca, I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it, and it had you quoted in it as saying, this organization is not trying to be the next UFC, you guys are just trying to be the farm team for the UFC, grow guys who, have not been in the UFC yet, try to get them there, and guys who have been in the UFC or in another big show, fallen on hard times, try to build them up. Why have you guys decided to use that as your business model to build guys up and to get guys back there?
Yeah, like if you think you're going to compete with the UFC, you're just stupid and delusional. It's like, saying, I'm going to start a football organization up, we're going to take on the NFL. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're trying to be like the CFL to the UFC's NFL. And, I think there needs to be organizations like us where, it's a top talent guys. Like,
mm-hmm.
you've got really legit guys, and you'll be able to put guys that are, on their way up against guys who have been in the UFC and trying to get back there. So, there's definitely find some great matchups there, and that's how these guys get to the
right.
next level. Is they have to fight UFC caliber guys.
Right.
So, it makes for exciting matchups. Kind of proves that some of these younger up and comer guys can hang with them and beat some of these some of the older veterans.
Yeah, I got to take my hat off to you guys because I believe that's the way you build talent. Is you get an up and coming guy and you put him against a guy who has had big show experience. Like your main event for Aggression 13, it's going to be John Alessio versus Dave Mazzani. Alessio's been in the big show, and Mazzani's an up and coming guy. And if Mazzani beats Alessio, then he's the next guy. He beat John Alessio. So I think that's a good philosophy. One thing, was this your philosophy the entire way with this merger when you guys started, or is this a recent development that you guys have decided to, quote, be the farm team for the UFC?
Yeah, we've all kind of had the same vision, and it just makes sense. It doesn't. Obviously, you're going to have a lot of local guys on your show to obviously sell tickets, and people come out to see their their friends and family. So, we'll keep a strong amount of wherever we are. If we go to Winnipeg, we're going to have a lot of Winnipeg fighters on the show. But as far as kind of trying to secure the top up and coming talent, that's definitely been our goal since day one, and everyone likes seeing the names. Like people are, here's a huge buzz going around here that Kendall Grove from one Olympic fighter who fought in the UFC 15 times. Like everyone knows who Kendall is.
Right.
So most of the time, other shows don't bring guys like that to what you would think a smaller market in Victoria is. So everyone's stoked about it. So yeah, it's a good mix. It's a good formula. I think it's going to work very well for us.
Right. And I also like how you guys have embraced, the drop-down guys, the guys who have been in the big show. There's a lot of promoters out there, they try to stay away from the guys who fought in the UFC before because they're trying to establish their own brand. So I like how you guys have brought in these guys who, have been to the big show before. So I like that.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
Mm-hmm.
Can fight, too. That's
right,
really
right.
good. Like, Joe Dirksen's last 2 fights, they have been jaw-dropping Fight of the Year candidates. Like I don't know if you've seen them, but his last 2 fights on our shows have been insane. They've been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was against an up-and-comer, Joel Powell, and that fight was amazing. And his last fight was against another UFC vet, Caleb Starnes, and that fight was amazing. So, either way you put him up with up-and-comers or guys who have been there as well, you're going to get good fights out of those type of
Now to the shows on Friday and Saturday. The first show, Aggression 12, that's going to be in Victoria or?
Aggression 12 in Calgary.
Oh, Calgary, and then Victoria for Aggression 13. Why did you guys decide to do 2 shows on the same weekend?
Venue issues. Venue availability. That's basically what it came down to. It wasn't, obviously we wouldn't want to go back-to-back days. It's just the way that worked out there. And
you said venue issues, but, if there wasn't venue issues, if it was all on one big card, this would be a pretty big card. Why have 2?
Yeah, why have 2 cards in instead of just doing one?
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to have a lot of people from Victoria go to Calgary. You're not going to have a lot of people from Calgary go to Victoria. So, it continues to get the brand out there. We continue to do shows, continue to get fighters fights. And, it's just different shows. It's, I don't know, the reality too is, part of the thing is my sister got married in Hawaii. So I had to go away for a week, like 3 weeks ago. So that was another issue in there too. But it's just the way it worked out. And everyone in Calgary's happy, and everyone in Victoria's happy. So it's more fights for the fans to come out and watch, which is never a bad thing.
Talk a little bit about the Friday card, Aggression 12. The big guns, they're coming out at Aggression 13. John Alessio, Kendall Grove, they'll be on that card. But this card, it's kind of been a little bit overshadowed by that card. What are some fights on that card, Aggression 12, that you're looking forward to?
Definitely the main event, Ryan Hunter versus Paul Chang. Ryan Hunter, he's insanely popular. I don't know if you're familiar with how popular Ryan Ford is in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah, he's humongous.
Yeah, Ryan Hunter's, he's pretty much the equivalent to a Ryan Ford in Calgary.
Really?
He's a big name there. And he's fighting Paul Chang, and Paul Chang, former CSL player, won a Grey Cup with Montreal Alouettes. We've had him fighting Victoria a couple times before, and he's a good fighter. Took his camp to TriStar. That's going to be an exciting fight. 2 heavyweights that like to throw punches, that are athletic heavyweights, which you don't always see kind of in a heavyweight fight. So that's going to be super exciting. They're both going to try to take each other's heads off. We've also got Sheila Bird, who is a extremely high-level jiu-jitsu black belt, and she's taken on another high-level brown belt in Christina Berry. So that's exciting too. And she basically, her and her husband own the Champions Creed, which is the biggest MMA gym there. So that's crowd's going crazy for her. Fight I'm really looking forward to on that one is Joe Powell, who put the amazing show on against Joe Dirksen. He's fighting Andrew Buckland, and Andrew Buckland's coming to fight too. So there's 2 Andrew Bucklands, the one that trains and comes to fight, and then one that doesn't train so hard and doesn't always show up. But the A-plus version of Buckland's coming for this one, so that'll be another exciting fight to watch.
And now to Saturday, Aggression 13. We mentioned the 2 big fights. What are some other fights on the card that people should be on the lookout for?
Definitely Diego Wilson versus Louis Facette. Facette's on a 4-fight winning streak. Diego has won and finished all of his opponents. His only loss was to Josh Hill, who's a beast of a man and pretty much been beating everybody. And Josh Hill couldn't finish Diego in a 5-round fight. And those are 2 135ers that are really high class. It sounds like Diego is maybe 1 or 2 fights away from getting a call to the UFC. So that'd be interesting that, if Facette can turn that all around with the win on Saturday. And then we've also got, looking forward to the David Perron fight, and him and Dan McIver. 4-1 Perron versus 6-2 McIver. McIver's only lost to Hinchcliffe once. He's beaten him once, lost him once. And he lost to Canada's #1 heavyweight Mike Hacker right now. So that doesn't look like such a bad loss anymore. And both of those guys are extremely exciting to watch. They get a lot of interesting strikes, and looking forward to that one for sure as well.
I'm not real familiar with where Calgary and Victoria are distance-wise, but will you be at both shows?
I will not be, just because I've got to do my weigh-ins in Victoria while that Calgary card is going on. However, the guys that are kind of running the Calgary show right now, they're going to fly out early the next morning to be here in Victoria.
Mm-hmm. And you guys, after this weekend, you have another quick turnaround a couple weeks later, November 23rd, Aggression 14. I looked on that card, well, the rumored card, you have John Alessio again on that card. He's going to be fighting Kurt Southern. Now, if Alessio loses, will you put Mazzani in that spot, or will Alessio be fighting on that card regardless?
Yeah, Alessio's fighting on that card regardless. That fight's all set, ready to go. We've got some interesting stuff with the 155-pound division right now. There's a title fight on that Edmonton card with undefeated Stephen Beaumont versus Shane Campbell. So if Mazzani beats Alessio on Saturday, Mazzani gets the winner of that title fight. Mm-hmm. If Alessio wins, and then he's fighting such a quick turnaround time, if he wins the next fight versus Southern, Alessio will get the next title fight. Mm-hmm. early 2013. That Edmonton card is absolutely stacked, if anyone's seen it. And
also on that Sportsnet article that I saw, Kendall Grove, you were quoted saying that he's already started asking about titles. Should he win, who would be somebody that you would possibly pit against him for a middleweight title? Probably Dirksen?
Dirksen.
Yeah.
Dirksen makes the most sense. Whether it's a fight Dirksen wants to take, I think he'd be interested in fighting with Dirksen. He's had a couple of tough fights at the end of this year, so I'm not sure how long of a layoff he wants to take and then what his plans and thoughts are and everything like that, but that's something that we will definitely look at. A couple things obviously have to come together, but that's one there. We've got a lot of good guys at 185. It'll be that's the fight I'd like to make. I put it that way, but who knows what happens? Kenna's got to get past Gandula here on Saturday as well, and Gandula's no joke. So. Mm-hmm.
Looking past November 23rd, is that going to be your last show of the year, or are you going to have a December show?
November 23rd is probably going to be the last show of the year. I'm not a crazy big fan of December shows. A lot of family Christmas stuff going on with a lot of people, so you never know, but it's most likely 2013, or that most likely be the last show in 2012. Mm-hmm.
And in 2013, how many shows do you guys plan on doing?
Between 10 and 12.
Okay. And Darren, real quick before I let you go, do you have a Twitter, Facebook, website, any place people can go to check out what you and the AFC's got going on?
Yeah, for sure. You can go to our website, aggressionfc.com. My Twitter is at MMAAFC, and our Facebook page as well is Aggression Fighting Championship. Mm-hmm.
Darren, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck this weekend with the two shows, AFC 12 and then AFC 13.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me on.